The Washington County Long-Term Recovery Group has announced an expansion of services for those that are still impacted by the flooding from Hurricane Helene. And here to talk with me about it today is John Reading. John, thank you for taking a little bit of time with me today. So Washington County Long-Term Recovery Group, you guys have done such an amazing job since the storms have hit, and the need is still there. So talk a little bit about the expansion of services that you guys are starting up here in July.
Absolutely. So the group met earlier in the month at the beginning of June, and we decided that we had resources available that we could expand our service coverage, our scope of service within Washington County, not just to include the residents, which was our initial scope of service. We expanded that to include some of our community supporters who maybe aren't necessarily Washington residents, right? They may have been small business owners with property and a business in Washington County. They may have been residents running a VRBO or a vacation program or a campsite, small businesses in the area, and they may have been residents with a second home who maybe aren't residents in Washington County, but they're strong community members. They have a presence here and they weren't restored as part of the recovery process. And so we wanted to expand our services to include that little bit larger group and make sure that they're getting what they need to restore Washington County to the state it was prior to the disaster.
Absolutely. And I think, this far removed from the storm now, people would be surprised by the ongoing need. I mean, I think it's kind of pushed to the back of a lot of people's minds now that you think about kind of the ongoing need. Kind of what are we looking at as far as the ongoing need? You mentioned, a lot of paperwork when you're going to file these forms and applications and different things. So just talk about a little bit about the need that continues.
Sure. So the disaster recovery cycle is as large national and regional players come into the area following a disaster, they have policies and procedures that they're required to perform in order to provide aid to residents. And we're kind of past that point. A lot of the big national and regional partners and benefactors, they're moving on. They've kind of left the area. We still have smaller local services and benefactors in the area, and they have applications and they all have requirements that they have to fulfill, and that can be frustrating for residents. And so what we want to encourage as the Washington County Long-Term Recovery Group is, as necessary as it is, we want to make residents aware, those still in recovery, there are still services in the area, there are still benefactors in the area who are looking to help restore our Washington County residents who are affected by the flood. And we're encouraging them to reach out and seek those services, because it's we approach 2 years post-disaster, those resources will continue to consolidate, and they'll also start kind of shutting down as, we have to kind of get back to as close to what our life was as we can now. But that's kind of the timeline we're at in the disaster cycle, as we're getting a little bit late in the day.
So now it's just kind of the cleaning up the loose ends at this point, and making sure that those who still need get everything done while they're still able to. John, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, the Washington County Long-Term Recovery Group is expanding those services that will begin on July 1st. Thank you so much, John, for joining us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.